Hey, what's up everybody, TechChucker here, and today we've got a review / comparison of the Into the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends versus Mafex Peter B. Parker to see which one is better. Is the Marvel Legends gonna stand up to the import of the Mafex? We are gonna find out right now. I'm gonna give you all of my opinions. They are fact to me. They may not be what you think, but that's okay. So let's jump right on into it right now. Sculpt and paint-wise, they both look really nice, but the likeness of the Mafex is way on point. This actually looks like Peter B. Parker from the movie. I just don't think that Hasbro captured the likeness. Both got the basics of what we're looking for. They're both got the little cowlick coming down. They both got the little 5 o'clock shadow. They both have the length for the faces, but there's something about the Mafex that actually captures his facial expression or his real look. They could have gone with a bigger belly, but I like that they didn't because we can put him in a full Spidey suit, and I'll show you that in a second. And I think it works better to not have that big belly. The Hasbro one, they didn't really give him much of any belly. I just like the aesthetic of this jacket way more. The pockets look great. There's texture to it. Don't get me wrong. This jacket looks very nice on the Marvel Legends. I'm not ripping it. They've got some nice paint on the zipper. That looks awesome. So I'm not really going to rip either one for, this one being sized a little too big, this one being painted a little bit not amazing. But where this one stands out is there are wires galore. This has a wire on this side. It has a wire on this side. It has a wire on the back. And I believe there's even a wire in the collar. So you can get a lot of different posing options just with the jacket, which is great. And that kind of eliminates that complaint that I had about the jacket maybe being a little too big, because you can use that wire to your advantage to kind of cover that up a little bit. All right, let's talk pants. I don't think there's any real comparison. The pants on the Mafex, way better. I mean, it's actual cloth, and it is sized perfectly. These pants fit so well on him. Whereas this one, you're stuck with what he's got. Hands down, Mafex all the way. The shoes, Hasbro they just can't compete. We gotta be honest here. Hasbro, this is a $20 figure. Mafex, this is, retail $100, $110 figure. They should be very different, but you can see the difference right out of the gate. The Mafex one, the laces are painted, the eyelets are actually painted on the boots, even the bottoms of the shoes are painted and sculpted. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But again, $20 figure, $100 figure. This one's a little bit lighter, which actually lends itself better for a cartoon look. It looks smoother, it looks more cartoony, whereas the Hasbro one, it's a little darker, a little more red. It actually looks like it could be closer to a live action film. And then lastly is the paneling or the sculpting for the suit. It's textured, it's painted very well, versus on the Hasbro one, the lines aren't painted. The emblem, the spider, looks good. It's painted clean, but again, there's no other paint other than the blue on there. The Mafex is coming in at just shy of 6.5 inches, and then the Marvel Legends, he is coming in at just a little over 6.5, just under 6.75 inches tall. So if you want your scaling, here is our Marvel Legends Deadpool. Throw him in between these two. Actually, they scale pretty good. We've got the Hasbro Miles, and then we've got the Mafex Miles. If you're thinking about mixing and matching, this is kind of what you're gonna get for that size comparison. Let's say you just bought the Mafex Miles and the Hasbro Peter B. Parker, or vice versa. This is what you can kind of expect for that size comparison. We've got Prowler here, which I have to say, I am really impressed with this Prowler figure. I think they did a great job on him. And then here is the Hasbro Gwen Stacy. Also, another really well done figure. Let's put her in front so that you can see her with both Peter B. Parkers. I'm gonna stick with the Hasbro Gwen. I think she is a great version. Their face sculpt is amazing, and I think she scales nicely with either or, but there you have all of them scaled together. Okay, let's show you the articulation on both. So the Hasbro one is on a ball peg in the neck. He can look up a really good amount. He can look down a great amount. He can look side to side. Shoulders, he's got ball hinges. Something that's annoying is the fact that you can see the articulation, the disc there, but you know, it's still hidden pretty well. He can get his arm up that much, which is really nice. He can swivel that arm 360. There's no issues with that. And then he does have a swivel in the elbow. Double jointed elbows, those work great. And then he has a hinge and a peg in the wrists. He can bend forward this much. He can't really arch his back much because this is going to catch on his butt. He can do some side to side crunch a little bit, not too bad. Just got to kind of work around that jacket, and then he can swivel at that torso. Down in the waist, he also has a ball joint, and he can kind of swivel there also. And then you get a lot of extra ab crunch with that waist. He's got T-jointed ball joints, and he can do about that far of the splits. He can kick forward a good amount. He can kick his leg back only that far, and then there is an upper thigh swivel. This one's getting really loose. He's got double jointed knees. Those should go all the way in half, and they do. That's great. There is also a upper shin swivel. Mine's getting a little loose on there also. And then down in the ankle, he has a hinge. He can get his foot back that far, which is great. He can get his foot far forward a lot, which is also nice. And let's check the other shoe. That one doesn't go forward as much, but it does go back just as much. And then they both have an ankle rocker, pretty much what we'd expect from a Marvel Legend. The jacket doesn't really impede at all in the articulation, so I wanted you to be able to see this a little bit better, but his head is on a double ball peg on the top of the neck, and then there is a ball peg or a double ball peg in the neck. He can't look up near as far as the other one, but it's still pretty darn good. He can get his chin all the way down into his chest. He can look side to side. He's got lots of range of motion with those different joints that he's got in his neck. In the shoulders, he's got a bunch of stuff going on in here. He's got a butterfly joint that you can pull up and down, you can pull it out, you can do a lot with it to really get those arms to be able to cross and do, I mean, just all sorts of things. You can go backwards, you can go up, down, around. I mean, there's so many options. The only thing that gets in the way a little bit is this pec muscle, but you can work it around that and not really have any issues there. There is an upper bicep swivel. Down in the elbows, he's got double jointed elbows, and then down in the wrists, he has a ball hinge. The only thing, again, the only thing, and I'm trying to be honest, because by the end of this video, you're gonna see, I like the Mafex a lot more, but these ball hinges look terrible. There is no paint on them, and they are a bright red, and it really stands out, and I don't care for that. But moving on, down into the torso, he's got that ball peg, and he can do about that much of a crunch. He can arch his back a lot, which is great. You do see some gappage there. There is a lot of range for side to side swivel, crunch I should say, and then he can swivel at that torso. Down in the waist, he has a ball peg as well. He can swivel, he can crunch, add in the extra, and that is a good range there. He can get a lot of back arch from both of those, so that's awesome. And then you get a little more, or a lot more crunch there as well. Down in the hips, he's got pretty good range of motion, and I wanted to keep these pants on so you could see just how far he could go with these sweatpants. Just keep kind of pressing those up in the crotch. He won't mind, and he can get a pretty good range there. I think it goes a little bit further if you took those pants off, and they'll stay in position a little bit more. He can kick forward a really good amount. Look at that. Whoops, that is awesome. He can kick back a pretty decent amount. There is an upper thigh swivel that works great. Double jointed knees, those also work really nicely. There is no swivel in the knee or the shin, but down in the ankle, he has ball hinges. He can get his foot back that far. He can get his foot forward that much, which is amazing. And then let's do this foot, the boot. That one doesn't go back as far, and it doesn't go forward as much, but he has other feet that you can swap out, which is awesome. awesome. And then he has an ankle rocker on both of those as well. Overall, I gotta give the edge big time to the Mafex, just because it's Mafex. The joints are so much smoother, they feel so much better. And last, let's talk about the accessories. We'll start with the Hasbro one. He comes with considerably less. He comes with a total of 4 extra hands. We get 2 thwipping hands and 2 fist hands. There is 0 paint on them. And then on his body in the package, he comes with 2 skin hands, or two ungloved hands, and one of those is designed to be able to hold his little cup that is from the movie, if you recall that. This is nicely sculpted. I'm pretty happy with how they did that. Even the straw is kind of flexible, which is nice. And then the last accessory that he comes with is this partially unmasked head. The likeness is not super on par with the actual movie, but it's pretty close. It's close. That looks pretty good. I like that. It's not too bad. The one thing that I think that they missed an opportunity on would be a fully masked head, which would, kind of round it all out. Just like the Miles, this guy comes with a ton. The boots and shoes come off very easily, so you can do different combinations of, do I want pants? Do I not want pants? Do I want the jacket, not the pants? There's a lot of options there. Do I want to have Spidey shoes? But he also comes with these extra leg pieces, which is really unique. You can pull these off. Mafex gives us a little instruction booklet that shows you how to take the jacket off, how to put the legs on, all of that. If you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I put which one back on inside the leg, right here where the knee would be, there's a marking that will tell you right or left, so you know how and which one to put them back. And he comes with 2 extra legs with different calves. And all you got to do is just slide this right onto the knee, and now you've got regular Spidey legs, and you can either put the shoes back on, or even better, Peter comes with several different feet. So first, he comes with a set of magnetized feet. The strength of these are decent. I had him stuck on my refrigerator. It worked pretty well. Just know that this is a heavier figure, so it might not fit on there or stay on there as easily unless you balance it just right. But these just pop right in really easily, and now you've got little feet. They have toe hinges, which is great. I also don't really care for the ankle hinge, but those are a little less noticeable because they are kind of hidden a little bit. But he also comes with some regular Spidey feet, which, don't have the magnets, and he comes with bare feet as well. Not like bear's feet, like roar, but bare feet without shoes. And the definition between these toes is really, really well done. I think they did a great job. The thing that is just so cool is you have so many options, and we have different heads as well. So we get a total of 4 heads. We get the unmasked head, we get a partially unmasked head, and then we have 2 masked heads. They have a squinty one, a less, kind of wide open one, and then we get an extra piece of neck that goes with the fully masked. So that way then when we pull this off, and this comes off pretty easily, we can throw in the extra piece of neck, and you've got a full-on Spider-Man. And that's why I mentioned before, I'm kind of happy that they didn't make him overly fat, because this could be almost a standalone Spider-Man figure. I mean, yes, he is a hair portly, but aren't we all just a little bit portly? But I really love the options that they gave us with all of this. And we're still not done. He comes with a slice of pizza, and he comes with this unmasked kind of mask, so that he can just be holding his mask. And he comes with a boatload of hands. So there's, what is there here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hands here. You get another 2 there. That's 18 hands. And we get this hand, which is sculpted with a coffee mug right in the hand. Love this idea. I love it so much, because so many times if you get a little mug and you try and fit it into the hand isn't made to hold it. So they gave us this extra one. And Look at that, there's a little bit of coffee inside. How cool is that? But back to the hands, there is one set of wall crawling hands that have magnets in them. So you are able to get 4 points of contact with the magnets and get him to hold onto, be it a refrigerator or whatever. And then we get a bunch of Spidey web accessories, and these are really well done. They're all bendy. You get all different lengths. You get one where he's going to be able to hold it in his hand, the others where they have the loop. So many options. And then last but not least, he comes with the classic Mafex stand. So it's articulated. Might have to get a little screwdriver out to tighten up some of those joints, but you get the stand with that. Most of this stuff, the Hasbro one doesn't come with. So I gotta say, in the end, I wasn't near as impressed with the Miles as I am with the Peter B. Parker from Mafex. If you're gonna pass on one or the other, pass on the Mafex Miles and get the Peter B. Parker. The Miles Hasbro one is what I would say good enough. Let me know in the comments what you think of the two figures. Is the Mafex way better like I think it is? I think even for the $100, $110, I think this figure is worth the price tag. Now that's not to say that the Hasbro one isn't also worth its price tag. This is still a really nice figure. It's just the Mafex one is so much better. For all of the accessories, the fact that you can swap things out and have different, it's just options. That is the theme. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of both of these figures? Which one would you rather have? What are you planning on doing for the rest of the series? I know I looked at the back of the box on this one and it said 1 of 6. So we know that we're getting Spider-Gwen, we got Miles. What other characters from the movie are we gonna get? I haven't been following Mafex, so I'm not sure. So leave your comments below, hit that like button, all the other crap, and I will see you in the next video.